They say love is blind, but maybe it's not blindness. Maybe it's precision, selective, quiet, and rarely loud enough to announce itself. So let me ask you something. If a woman truly loves you, not halfway, not for comfort, but fully, how would you even know? It won't look like movie nights with popcorn. It won't sound like giggles over birthday cards. That's affection. That's warmth. But real love shifts the way she breathes. It alters her rhythm, subtle like the tide pulling at her shore. You see, when a woman loves you, she doesn't always say it. She doesn't always show it in obvious ways. She reveals it in pauses, in moments she forgets to curate her presence, in how her voice softens when she speaks your name, or how her eyes search for you even when you're not speaking. It's not in the grand gestures, it's in the small slips, the moment she forgets to perform. Science has a name for it: neural attunement. When two people deeply connect, their minds begin to synchronize, not metaphorically, literally. Your presence reshapes her, and yet you still lie awake at night, scrolling through distractions, wondering if she loves you or if she's just avoiding loneliness. So let's stop guessing. No sugarcoating, no fantasy talk, just honest signals. The kind of truths that don't shout, they whisper. Because when a woman truly loves you, it's not loud. It's not always beautiful. Sometimes it's clumsy. Sometimes it's quiet. But it's real. If you're the kind of man who's ready to recognize the difference, not between fake and real, but between affection and devotion, then you're in the right place. This is the wise Stoic. If you value presence over performance and truth over tactics, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm ready for a woman's true love. Let's begin. Sign 1. She argues like it's her last defense. You thought love would feel like peace, and sometimes it does, but other times it feels like standing in a storm, trying to hold each other while lightning flashes overhead. When a woman truly loves you, she won't always be soft. She won't always be gentle. Sometimes she'll challenge you, with the fire of someone afraid she's about to lose herself. Not because she's unstable, but because she's all in. And when you're all in, the stakes are terrifying. She's not fighting about dinner plans or forgotten messages. She's wrestling with the fear that she gave you the deepest parts of her. And you might not realize how much they cost her. She might raise her voice. She might say, "You never listen," when really she means, "Please hear me before I disappear into someone I don't recognize." Picture this. She's not the woman pacing for control. She's the woman pleading for presence. Because you matter to her more than she's ready to admit. And that makes her vulnerable, in a way she hasn't been in years. You see, when love is real, it doesn't just soften you, it exposes you. Real love hands you the blueprint to someone's soul. And that blueprint is fragile. It's unguarded. So when she panics, when she reacts, she's not attacking you. She's defending the version of herself that only comes alive in your company. It's not about drama. It's about survival. She's protecting the parts of her that were silent before you came along. This might feel unfair. It might feel exhausting. But if you can look past the noise, past the tears, the frustration, you'll see what's really happening. She's not trying to win. She's trying not to lose herself in someone she loves too much. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The greatest danger of all is losing oneself quietly, as if it were nothing at all." That's what she fears. Not abandonment, but self-erasure. When a woman truly loves you, she risks everything: her pride, her past, her patterns, and in return, all she wants is reassurance that loving you won't cost her herself. So when she raises her voice, look deeper, not with defensiveness, not with ego, but with understanding. Because sometimes the loudest arguments come from the quietest fears. Sign 2. She lets you see the parts she hides from herself. There's a moment in every real relationship that no one prepares you for. It's not the first kiss, not the first "I love you." It's the first time she lets you witness her undoing. I'm not talking about messy hair or a bad day at work. I mean the moments when the storm breaks inside her, and she doesn't have the strength or the will to hold it back. It can come suddenly, while she's staring out the window, silent, while she's chopping onions, but not for the reason you think, while she's laughing, and then without warning, tears rise out of nowhere. This isn't weakness, this is honesty, raw and unedited, and it only surfaces when she's crossed a line she didn't know she would. The line between being seen and being exposed. You have to understand, most women spend their lives curating how they appear, smiling when they're scared, laughing when they want to scream. They build emotional armor because the world demands it. But when she loves you deeply, sincerely, she begins to take it off, not to impress you, but because something in her soul says, "He might not run." And that is not a performance. That is sacred ground. She may tell you about the night she couldn't breathe for no reason, or the way she still flinches when certain songs come on. She might say things she's never said aloud before, and then go silent, waiting to see if your eyes change. She's not asking for rescue. She's not asking for advice. She's asking one thing: can you still see me, even now? Because love, real love, isn't about attraction. It's about revelation. It's about letting someone walk through the locked doors of your history without pretending all the rooms are clean. We all carry rooms like that, messy, diamondoise, sometimes abandoned. And when she lets you see hers, she's offering you something far rarer than beauty. She's offering you her truth. And truth, hers or yours, demands courage. If she's never fallen apart near you, never gone quiet in your arms, and whispered a sentence that tasted like regret, ask yourself, have you made her feel safe enough to fall? Because the version she posts online, that's performance. But the version who turns her back to you at 2 a.m. and quietly asks if she's too much, that's her asking if you'll stay when the curtain drops. She's not looking for someone who adores the spotlight. She's looking for someone who won't flinch in the dark. Sign 3. She remembers what you barely noticed saying. Some people listen to reply, others listen to correct. But when a woman loves you, she listens to absorb. Not just your birthday or how you take your eggs. She remembers the things you never thought twice about. That time you mentioned your uncle taught you to whistle while fixing a fence, or how you always stop by a certain bookstore, not because you read, but because your mother used to take you there after every dentist appointment. You never emphasized it. You never expected her to recall it. But one random Tuesday, you find her whistling in the kitchen, or driving the long way home, that old bookstore. No explanation, no "look what I did," just presence, expressed through memory. Because when a woman's in love, she doesn't gather facts. She gathers fragments. Fragments of your past, echoes of your boyhood, the soft patterns in your voice you didn't even know changed when you were anxious. She remembers, not because she has to, but because in her world these tiny truths are sacred. Love isn't made in declarations, it's made in these invisible stitches, little details she sews into the fabric of your shared life. Quiet proofs that you're not just heard, you're held. Think about this. In a time when everyone forgets what they said 10 minutes ago, when notifications are louder than conversations, someone who chooses to remember you, not for what you do, but for who you are when you're not performing. That's not ordinary. That's love. Sign 4. She pushes you, not to break you, but to build you. Many men confuse being at ease with being truly seen. They assume, if she makes me feel calm, she must care. But there's a difference between comfort and connection, because love, real love, isn't always warm. Sometimes it feels like standing at the base of a mountain she knows you can climb and refusing to let you turn back. When a woman truly loves you, she won't let you stay small. Not because she thinks less of you, but because she sees more in you than you see in yourself. She won't criticize your pace. She'll question your pause. She'll challenge the lies you've told yourself for years, that you're fine settling, that now isn't the right time, that shrinking yourself is safer than standing tall. She won't raise her voice. She'll raise her standard. She'll look at you not with doubt, but with demand. Because she's not in love with your comfort zone. She's in love with the direction you were born to move in. It might sting. She'll bring up things you'd rather ignore, point out patterns you thought no one noticed. But here's the twist. She's not trying to fix you. She's refusing to accept a version of you that plays beneath your potential. Real love doesn't pamper your excuses. It holds up a mirror. And sometimes that mirror is her. If she challenges you, don't mistake it for control. It's commitment, not to your current state, but to your becoming. If she calls you out when you shrink, if she won't let you hide behind "I'm tired" or "maybe later," understand this. She's not pushing you away. She's pulling out the man you promised yourself you'd become. That's not difficulty, that's devotion. Sign 5. She shields your name even when you're not around to hear it. Imagine this. You're not in the room, but your name is. It's passed around casually, maybe in conversation, maybe in critique, and she's there, quiet, listening. Then someone says something that twists the truth just enough to sting, and that's when it happens. She doesn't make a scene. She doesn't raise her voice. She straightens, not her spine, but her silence. And she speaks, not for attention, but for truth. Because when a woman truly loves you, her loyalty isn't loud. It doesn't wait for you to applaud it. It exists where applause doesn't reach. She doesn't defend you to earn your favor. She does it because the version of you she believes in, the one built from late-night talks, quiet pain, quiet effort, deserves to be honored. Not in public speeches, in small moments when no one's watching. When the world thinks no one will care what she says, that's where her love shows. And the beauty? You'll probably never hear about it, because it's not about proof. It's about protection. Real love covers you, not by denying your flaws, but by refusing to let others define you by them. You're human. You've made mistakes, but she sees something others miss. The man behind the misstep, the blueprint beneath the rubble. Here's a different kind of strength. Not the strength to fight for you in front of you, but the strength to speak gently in rooms where your name is fragile. That's not performance, that's reverence. And if you ever hear about it later from someone who says, "Hey, she really stood up for you," know this: she wasn't defending your past, she was guarding your future. Sign 6. She builds a future and quietly places you inside it. Want to know if she truly loves you? Listen, not to her promises, but to the way she imagines what comes next. Not in grand declarations, not in long-term plans carved in stone, but in the way her words begin to wrap around you, naturally, without effort. She says things like, "We should fix this place up a bit," or "Maybe next spring we could take that trip." She's not asking for commitment. She's showing you that, in her mind, you're already part of the picture. She rearranges her kitchen and pauses before moving your mug. She books 2 seats instead of 1. Instinctively, she buys groceries and grabs your favorite bread, not because you asked, but because in her world, you already live there. That's the key. She doesn't need to say, "I want a future with you." She just starts living as if you're part of hers, not because she's dependent, but because she's becoming deliberate. Because real love doesn't shout, it leaks into the details, into the casual, into the unspoken. You'll notice it in the smallest shifts. The way she asks, "Would this color look good for us?" The way she adds your schedule to her calendar, without fuss, without mention. The way she says "we" before she catches herself and smiles. These are not accidents, they're signs. Signs of a woman rooting her now into something more permanent. She's not fantasizing, she's adapting. She's making space for two, and often she doesn't even realize she's doing it. That's the beauty of it. It's not about rushing, it's about recognition. You are no longer a passing chapter. You've become part of her evolving plotline. Here's the Stoic truth. Love isn't built on certainty, it's built on intention. Not "I need you," but "I'm shaping a life, and I want you in the design." So if she talks about her next steps and you're there, not just in the big moments but the quiet background of her life, that's not coincidence, that's clarity. She's not handing you a blueprint. She's already laid the foundation and placed your name in the soil of what's to come. Sign 7. She loves you even as you're still becoming. Let's be honest, you're not the man you want to be yet. There are still dreams half-formed, habits you're trying to outgrow, wounds you've patched up but haven't fully healed. You're in progress, and progress is messy. But if she's still beside you, not out of sympathy or fear, but because she sees what you're building, then that's not just love, that's loyalty in its purest form. She doesn't love the polished, perfected version of you. She loves the man who's still figuring things out, the man who shows up even when he's unsure. There's a difference between encouragement and presence. Anyone can cheer you on from the sidelines, but she steps onto the field with you. She's not watching the final performance. She's backstage holding the script while you rewrite your lines. She doesn't just believe in your destination, she respects your journey. And that kind of woman, rare, grounded, real, most people only stick around for the celebration. But she's there during your silence. She sees the nights you're fighting doubts. She knows when you withdraw, when your voice cracks, when you question if you're enough. And instead of backing away, she stays. She doesn't flinch when the storm in you rages. She doesn't ask you to be finished. She only asks you to be honest. Because real love doesn't wait for perfection. It grows in the unfinished spaces. It makes room for questions, for struggle, for change. And here's the real beauty. She's not trying to rescue you. She's not holding your hand to lead you. She walks beside you, not ahead, not behind, just beside, step for step, moment for moment. She isn't in love with your highlight reel. She loves the parts no one else claps for. She loves your effort, your pauses, your resilience. She sees the man beneath the armor, the builder, the fighter, the one still laying bricks. And she doesn't need the finished house. She just wants to see you keep building. She doesn't shrink from your shadows. She lights a candle and waits. And when you're quiet, she doesn't rush to fill the silence. She listens. Because sometimes the most powerful thing a person can do is stand with you in what's unfinished. That's the kind of woman you don't just hold on to. You honor her. You show up for her the same way she's shown up for you, with patience, truth, and quiet devotion. Because she's not loving your past. She's not chasing your future. She's choosing you right now, in all your uncertainty and contradiction. And if you've got that kind of love, don't just protect it. Build something with it. If this message spoke to something real inside you, don't rush past it. Let it land. And if you've ever crossed paths with someone like this, someone who stayed, someone who believed, drop a comment and write, "I'm still becoming, but I know who I'll build for." Tap like if this hit home. Subscribe to stay grounded with us, and I'll see you in the next one.